The missionary community of St. Paul the Apostle and Mary, Mother of the Church, is a public association of Christian faithful of the Catholic Church, made up of priests and lay people who have taken a commitment for life, men and women from different parts of the world.
This community defines itself as an apostolic family because the basic expression of its charism is to be a community open to all persons regardless of gender, race, and culture, according to the image of Jesus' apostolic group and the early church.
Our charism is to live the spirituality of Christ the Good Shepherd, in the style of St. Paul the Apostle, calling concrete persons to leave everything behind and to follow Christ, and to share in the suffering of the people. We dedicate time to contemplative prayer in solitude and silence. We base our community life on the celebration of the Eucharist.
In the name of our community, we also include Mary under the advocation of Mother of the Church, constituted as such at the foot of the cross. It is precisely there, when there was nothing left to hope for, that she is converted into a model of unconditional love. Mary, Mother of the Church, is also a model of unconditional love for all members of our community, because she inspires us to overcome suffering with happiness.
Our community started in 1975 when Francisco Andreu, deacon at the time, met Turkana and other young men and women from the parish of Santa Maria de Badalona in Spain. They were deeply moved by the life of Christ and his apostles as reflected by the Gospels. In 1976, and after his priestly ordination, Father Francisco traveled to Cameroon, to the mission where he worked as a seminarian. The call to go to Africa received its inspiration from that moment on. Father Francisco Andreu and the small group of men and women created a community that was nourished and which grew through friendship and prayer. Soon they found in their way situations of marginalization to which they tried to seek solutions with the little means that they had. In 1982, the missionary zeal of Father Francisco Andreu crystallized with a journey to Kenya. Thanks to the welcome accorded by the Mexican fathers, the missionaries of Our Lady of Guadalupe, in 1983, 2 missionaries of our community were established at the mission of Buyango, next to Lake Victoria. From there, and due to the invitation of the then Archbishop of Nairobi, Cardinal Maurice Michael Otunga, our community took root definitively in the capital city and became our first community house in Africa. This was in 1984.
One of the objectives of our community is to train missionaries who are well prepared and able to give an answer to changing situations and circumstances, and to generate the necessary means, both financial and personnel, required for the apostolic task.
The presence in Turkana of the missionary community of St. Paul the Apostle and Mary, Mother of the Church, dates back to 1986. This was in response to the petition of Monsignor John C. Mahan, the then Bishop of Lodwar, who passed away in 2004. Turkana is a semi-arid region covering an area of 77,000 square kilometers, bordering Uganda, Sudan, and Ethiopia. Its inhabitants are mainly nomadic shepherds, living off their herds of goats, camels, donkeys, and cows. In 1987, 3 women of our community went to the area of Luaringak to run an integral health program covering up to 10,000 square kilometers. At present, the health program consists of a mobile clinic to attend to the nomadic population in 21 different places and a network of 6 dispensaries for primary health care. One of the priorities of the project has been to face up to the endemic problem of malnourished children in the area. This initiative led to the establishment of nutritional and pre-educational centers at different communities. At present, there are a total of 31 units in the 4 mission areas entrusted to our community. The average attendance is 50 children at each unit. Its main objective is to provide 1 daily meal and basic education on hygiene and food production for the children.
The need to communicate to people tangible and concrete good news is a challenge that this community faces. distributing food during periods of hunger, planting trees in the desert, taking care of dispensaries in places where the sick are not attended, providing water in arid places. All these are essential elements in the process of evangelization.
Since 1992, members of our community have been living and working at Narikotome Mission, the mother house of our community. Narikotome is the logistic and coordination center of the numerous projects which the MCSPA is carrying out in Turkana. All members of our community in the region meet here weekly to share experiences, to pray, and to organize the different project activities. One of the main aspects has been the practical formation in the areas of agriculture and food production, building of dams, and in other fields such as mechanics, carpentry, and plumbing. 11 priests, a group of women, and several young men and women covering up 5 vast areas of mission. The total area covered is 30,000 square kilometers with an approximate population of 100,000 persons.
Our community is committed to maintain a permanent presence wherever the local bishops call our members to share their lives with the people. If the grain of wheat does not fall on the earth and die, it can never take root and give fruit.
In this area, where there is an immense scarcity of food, the need for developing agriculture is urgent. Thus, agriculture was always a priority since the very beginning of the mission. At present, food production is already a reality, and we are trying to bring this experience to the surrounding villages who are gradually taking more interest in developing its own plantations.
During their formation, the members of our community are encouraged to be itinerant missionaries and to follow the steps of St. Paul, the one able to found new communities and to generate vocations, to communicate and to take care of them despite the distance.
Any initiative for the development of farming and agriculture has to be carried out together with the development of water resources. During all these years, we dedicated great effort in developing water infrastructures to counter the effects of drought. We have created new reservoirs of water through the construction of dams. Now the people and their herds have water even during the periods of drought.
Our community tries to construct bridges between separated worlds. The community tries to communicate to the people that perhaps they can never find a meaning in their lives if they do not take a radical option to help the needy beyond their own borders.
Turkana is an area of first evangelization. That means that although there may exist some Christian communities, the majority of the population has never experienced real and concrete good news that positively affect their lives. Many are forgotten, prostrated in sicknesses, oppressed by hunger, and confused by opposing messages that come from the external world. In this context, we missionaries look for the growing process of these people and communities, encouraging their hope, nourishing their faith, and sharing their love through concrete initiative as an answer to their needs.
The missionary community of St. Paul the Apostle is present in several continents. Nevertheless, the center of our mission is still Africa, the poorest continent in the world. Most of our people live there. Our evangelization efforts are directed with a clear preference for this continent. Our charism is mainly African. Africa has been, is, and will always be the apple of our eye. In Africa, we have found the free spaces necessary to build the signs of the kingdom of God in the context of a marvelous people and nature.
Afriki denun kola sekina poluye wala so Nesi woluma